Imagine stepping off the plane, walking through the airport, and realizing you don't need a visa stamp or even a lengthy conversation with immigration officers. You're simply waved in and free to explore. For many travelers, digital nomads, and expats, that's exactly what happens when they arrive in Georgia. This small but culturally rich country, tucked between Europe and Asia, has one of the most relaxed entry policies in the world. But how does it actually work and who qualifies? Today, we're breaking down how to get a visa for Georgia, whether you're coming for a short visit, planning to work remotely, or even considering a long-term move. First things first, Georgia is famous among the travel community for its incredibly generous visa-free entry policy. Citizens from over 90 countries, including the United States, Canada, most of Europe, Australia, and New Zealand, can enter Georgia without a visa and stay for up to 1 full year. Yes, you heard that right. Not 30 days, not 90 days, but 365 days. That's one of the longest visa-free periods in the world. So, what do you need to enter if you're from one of these countries? Surprisingly little. All that's typically required is a passport valid for the duration of your stay, although, to be safe, it's recommended to have at least 6 months validity left. In most cases, there's no need for proof of onward travel, no mandatory insurance requirements at the border, and no fees to pay when you arrive. You simply walk in and get a stamp in your passport. But what if your country is not on the visa-free list? In that case, you'll need to apply for an eVisa or a sticker visa before traveling. Georgia's eVisa system is fairly straightforward. You can apply online, upload your documents, pay a fee, and receive your visa electronically. The typical eVisa allows for stays of up to 30 or 90 days within a 180-day period, depending on your nationality. For those who want to stay longer, Georgia offers several pathways to extend your time in the country without breaking any laws. One of the most popular among remote workers is the Remotely from Georgia program. Launched in 2020, this initiative allows citizens of more than 90 countries to live and work in Georgia for at least 180 days, with the possibility of staying up to a year. To qualify, you need proof of remote income, usually at least $2,000 per month, and health insurance coverage for your stay. Another option for long-term living is applying for a residence permit. These are generally granted for purposes such as work, study, or family reunification, and can eventually lead to permanent residency if you meet the requirements. There's also an investment-based residence permit for those who invest a certain amount in Georgian business or property. Now, what happens when your 1-year visa-free stay is up? You can leave the country and, in many cases, simply re-enter to start a new year, a process often called a border run. However, rules can change, and the government may adjust its policies at any time. That's why it's important not to rely entirely on past experiences of other travelers. This brings us to one of the most important points in this video. While Georgia's visa rules are famously friendly, immigration policies can and do change. What's true today may not be the same tomorrow. That's why you should always research official government sources and check for the most recent updates before making travel or relocation plans. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Georgia maintains an updated list of eligible countries, application links, and entry requirements. Georgia also allows entry with a valid visa or residence permit from certain other countries. For example, if you hold a multiple entry visa or residency from the EU, UK, USA, Canada, Australia, or several other nations, you can enter Georgia without a separate Georgian visa for up to 90 days in any 180-day period. This can be a great advantage for travelers who already have documentation from another country. One of the reasons Georgia is so attractive for expats and digital nomads is that there's no special digital nomad visa. You have to apply for in advance. For many, the regular visa-free entry is enough to live and work there for a year. Combine that with low living costs, stunning mountain scenery, and a welcoming culture, and it's no surprise Georgia has become a favorite among location-independent workers. However, just because the process is easy doesn't mean you should take it lightly. Make sure you understand tax obligations, both in Georgia and in your home country, if you plan to stay for an extended period. While Georgia has favorable tax rates for certain residents and even a special status for small business owners, it's best to consult a professional to avoid surprises. Let's quickly recap the key pathways for entering Georgia. Visa-free entry, up to 1 year for citizens of over 90 countries. eVisa, apply online for shorter stays if you're not visa-free. Remotely from Georgia, for remote workers earning at least $2,000 per month. Residence permits, for work, study, family, or investment purposes. Entry with another country's visa, up to 90 days if you hold certain foreign visas or residency permits. Georgia's flexibility on entry and stay duration is unmatched in many parts of the world, making it a hotspot for travelers, entrepreneurs, and anyone seeking a slower pace of life. But as we've said before, always double-check current rules before booking flights or making big moves. Policies can change quickly, and what worked for one person a year ago might not work today. In the end, Georgia's visa policy reflects its broader approach to tourism and investment. It's open, welcoming, and designed to attract people from around the globe. Whether you're stopping by for a short adventure or considering a long-term relocation, knowing the entry rules will help you enjoy your time in this beautiful country without any unpleasant surprises. And remember, research for yourself, stay informed, and when in doubt, go straight to the official sources. That way, you can focus on what really matters, experiencing everything Georgia has to offer. Thanks for watching. Are you considering moving to Georgia?